Alright fellas, the heavyweight division at the moment seems like a bit of a mess. Is Usyk facing Dubois? Oh wait a second, is Parker being mandated? Joshua being called out by Jake Paul? Is Wilder making a comeback? The list goes on and on. What was meant to be a pretty straightforward path as long as Parker versus Dubois had happened, ended up quite the opposite. And now we find ourselves in somewhat of a limbo. Nothing seems to be happening and there's just relative silence. So once again, I'm here to break down everything you need to know and try to figure out what's actually next. Just before that, if you love boxing, you're in the right place. My name's Cloister and I make videos about everything boxing to keep you informed, so make sure to subscribe and I'll keep you in the loop. Where I want to start is Dubois versus Parker. Of course, this was meant to take place on the Bivol Better Bev undercard, a fight which would show us what the future of the division would look like. Yet Dubois fell sick, disappeared into the shadows and Bakole took his place. Bakole got knocked out and well, we find ourselves in a bit of an interesting position. The winner of this fight would have instantly went on to fight Usyk. The Saudis love an undisputed bout, and that's exactly what they wanted to make. Yet obviously this whole debacle put a spanner in the works. Originally, most people were like, why don't they just reorganize this matchup? But that seems to have been quickly shut down. Mainly due to, well, who's Usyk gonna fight then? Pereira? Nah. Usyk wants a big fight immediately, so it seems like the only logical option is Dubois Usyk 2. The Saudis want to make the undisputed fight. Of course, it's a lot less hype than what it would have been if he would have won against Parker, yet it seemed like the only option. All roads seemed to be pointing towards this. Then the WBO came along and upset the ongoing negotiations. How did they do this? Well, they ordered Parker as the mandatory for Usyk's belt. Parker is already the interim champ and has been for about a year now. Normally we're used to seeing mandatories being enforced that are a bit underwhelming, but this one seemed fair enough. So with this mandatory being enforced, we found ourselves again in the position of which one is it going to be? Is it going to be Dubois or is it going to be Parker for Usyk? The WBO is saying Parker's the mandatory, Parker's calling out Usyk, he's singing on a beach, and Dubois is still missing. It's all a bit of a mess, but it really can go only one of a few ways, with one easily being the most likely. But just quickly, this video is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's grooming, trusted by 12 million men worldwide. What's their latest game changer? Well, it's a Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, featuring the brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, their most advanced grooming tool yet. With the dual skin safe blade heads, this trimmer means business. Start with the upgraded trimmer blade. It's got longer, wider and rounded teeth that effortlessly cut through hair while staying gentle on your skin. Then if you need, you can swap to the foil blade for that ultra smooth skin close finish. But the grooming doesn't stop there. The Weed Whacker 2.0 tackles those annoying nose and ear hairs with ease. Waterproof, cordless and rechargeable. It's a must have for a clean cut look. And for all day freshness, the Crop Soother and Crop Preserver bring premium care, keeping you cool, comfortable and odor free. And when you grab the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, Manscaped throws in 2 free gifts, Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0, your new grooming command center. So upgrade your grooming game and head to manscaped.com and use promo code Cloister and get 20% off, plus free shipping, plus 2 free gifts. Thanks again to Manscaped for sponsoring the video. Now, you would think, well, Parker's been made the mandatory. Surely Usyk has to fight him next or give up the WBO belt. Well, no. Sometimes bodies do enforce their mandatories, but other times, usually when there's a lot of money involved, they like to dodge the mandatory in favour of the big check. And this fight seems like it will be another case of this. Although Parker has made videos calling out Usyk off the back of the mandatory, it seems like the Parker fight is pretty unlikely. The Dubois fight was what both Usyk and Dubois wanted, and it was what the Saudis wanted to make. Usyk wants that undisputed belt back. Dubois obviously wants another shot, and the Saudis think it's the bigger fight. And as the sanctioning bodies go, obviously with several upset parties which pay a lot of their bills anyway, the WBO has come out of the corner and said, well, it's fine, they can make the Dubois fight happen if they want. Usyk can petition to stay the mandatory defense, meaning the Parker fight will probably happen sometime afterwards. Surely? Maybe? It makes you question a bit, what was the point of even making Parker the mandatory at all? And since this, Usyk has come out anyway, saying his main aim is still to face Dubois. So unless something goes really wrong in negotiations and they have to go with the second choice Parker, I reckon Dubois Usyk 2 is destined to happen. Seeing the situation Parker seems to be in, well, what could be next for him? Well, one option is to sit out another year and wait for an undisputed opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. Parker's had lengthy layoffs before, and another layoff in exchange for the biggest fight he could possibly get wouldn't be the worst move. I also wouldn't be too surprised to see him take a stay busy bout. I wouldn't think an AJ rematch would be too likely, but what I could see happening is him find the winner of Hrgović versus Joe Joyce. Both decent names, although both wouldn't be too risky for Parker. Yet aside from them, what about some of the other big names in the division? Let me run through them kinda quickly. Joshua seems stuck at a bit of a standstill waiting for that, and with that looking like it might take a while to happen, he could look towards other fights, including strangely one against Jake Paul. This of course would be terribly one-sided, but it might still actually happen. Eddie Hearn just hasn't shut down rumours of it. In what would be kinda an Ngannou 2.0 fight for Joshua, it would be a big exhibition fight which would protect Joshua until another big fight comes along, not risk him losing in the meanwhile, and make him a ton of money. Because who's AJ gonna fight if it isn't Paul? Caballel, Bacole, Chisora? Like, not massive names, but they're all somewhat risky fights, especially coming off his last loss. And I expect Eddie to keep his assets safe until a big enough of a check comes along. And also, there's apparently another world title fight which is gonna happen. Kubrat Pulev is considered the regular heavyweight world champion. The WBA was trying to get rid of all their regular heavyweight titles years ago, yet because of the Char situation and Pulev beating him, it looks like Fabio Wardley is the mandatory to challenge for this apparent world title. It's all a bit weird to see Pulev versus Wardley, technically for a world championship in the big year of 2025, but hey, weirder things have happened. When it comes to other big names, I talked about Fury a few videos ago, so I won't go on about him. But Wilder keeps saying he's gonna come back sometime soon, but as time keeps going on, this seems less and less likely. And to be honest, I wouldn't just mind to see him retire. Same goes with Big Bang Zhang. I don't know where either goes now. Maybe Wilder might be able to secure an AJ fight if he wins one, but really a retirement is heavily on the cards for both. And with all these big names coming to the end of their careers, we're probably about only a year away from seeing some of the biggest names of the next generation really take hold, such as the likes of Caballel, Justice Huni, Moses Atuma. They're all going to start challenging against some serious opponents very soon. Although, who knows, maybe Chisora might go on a title run and become undisputed. I guess only time will tell. In the meanwhile, I want to hear what your thoughts are of the heavyweight division. What fights do you see happening next? Who's ducking who? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. It does a ton to help the channel. Yet, thanks again for Manscaped for sponsoring the video, and thanks for watching fellas, and I'll catch you in the next one.